Hello everyone, happy Thursday. Okay, I did give you 15 minutes notice. I appreciate that's not much, but it's better than nothing. And we are going to hop right into it once I get this up on the iPad. Oh my gosh, now that I swear to God, this two different profile thing throws me off. Okay, there we go. I see it. Hopefully you will join me, say hello if you do, and we'll get started. Oh my God, not on this dirty grid paper though. Okay. So I wanted to come on because I haven't been on, and I thought, why not show you the Fond of Autumn bundle, because I just talked about it. Oh, I've made that worse. And also I was partway through designing this card, so we're going to finish that as well. So we got a lot of things going on here. So you saw I posted the other day for the team blog hop this design, and so we are replicating that, duplicating that, but we're going in a total different direction. So this card is very autumn themed, but I did not use the Fond of Autumn bundle. This time we are going to use the Fond of Autumn bundle and still make a fairly autumn themed card. Now I had already started to put this card together, so I'm just going to catch you up with what I had already done. This paper here is actually from the this Christmassy one, which I just recycled the bag. It is from the Lights Aglow Specialty Designer Series paper. So I love it. It's really pretty, but I thought it also would work for autumn colors because it's got the gold and the cobbler and the greens. So we have 3 1-inch strips. They're 1 inch by 4 inches. Okay, so that's what we have, 3 1 inch by 4 inch. This is this beautiful metallic copper, not copper, but the brushed metallic cardstock. And this would be the copper piece out of that, the brushed metallic cardstock. Yes, it is the copper, not the gold. And honestly, it's just a square I had in there. So I will tell you what it is. It is 3.5 by 3 5/8, basically. And on that, we are just going to layer these strips. And then at the moment, I have cut this, swirly shape in soft succulent. And that is from the Painted Label die. So I made a baby card using this, and I liked this die because I tied ribbon through it, and then every version I've made since, I have not used any ribbon, but I've still continued to use this die because it's a pretty one. So that is what we have so far. What I was also planning to use is this stitched greenery die. Now, this might backfire, but we're going to give it a try because I think it will look pretty. So this actually doesn't die cut out. It just sort of leaves the pattern. Okay, so I'm going to have to run this through my die cut off to the side. So just bear with me for that. I will line it up on here. I don't think we need that for it. I've honestly only ever used it. I've used it a couple of times. It's really pretty, and then I kind of forget. But it's like there's also the dots one that is in the current catalog. I do think I need that. We're gonna find out, aren't we? And you know how I usually find out? By trial and error. Oh, it won't go through my machine. Oh, I have too many plates. Good news, it went through, but it didn't do anything. So I had not enough plates, so I needed this plate after all. Now we'll make sure we're still lined up. All right, hopefully everyone is having a good week. I'm having a better week than last week, so that is fantastic. Last week was the pits. We had a terrible week here last week. Okay, so you can see it makes this really beautiful leaf imagery. It does, you know, you can see through it, but that's going to be fine. So really, really pretty. So then I thought this was going to look stunning over here with our strips as a really pretty autumn color scheme. Now, I did do one of these also in the evening evergreen, but I initially got rid of that because I felt like it was, I don't know, too Christmassy. So we're gonna put that to the side. And now I'm gonna show you this stamp. So this is what I was talking about. If you just saw the post I put on my page. So this is the big image from this Fond of Autumn stamp set. So I'm actually going to ink it up in Evening Evergreen, which is a good alternative to black. I do a lot of stamping in basic gray as well, but Evening Evergreen, Night of Navy are nice alternatives to black. So you can see this is a really stunning image. And then I'm going to show you where the magic happens. So if you have overlooked this stamp set and dies in the July to December mini, I'm going to show you why you shouldn't. It's really super neat. So within the dies, we have this die here. Okay, so we have this big die that will cut out our entire image. Okay, so boom, you'll have this whole big image, color it, put it on your card, whatever you like. We have this detailed die, which you can cut out and then cut out again. Right? So very cool. I have also used this detailed die to make a stencil for embossing paste. Then we have this die. So this is the die I want to show you because it's really cool. I don't know if you can see, it's going to cut it out into 1, 2, 3, 4 separate pieces. So this image now is going to become 4 separate bits. It's awesome. I don't know if this fits in the mini. Let's see. It might do. Okay. Just because the mini is easier for me to put on my desk. So I will just cut around this. And we'll use the mini. We're going to put these other things to the side. For those of you who haven't yet bought the mini, because you're like, oh, I have the big one, I'm telling you, the mini is magic. I will never regret buying this. Never, ever, ever. And if you don't have a big one, because I know I have a couple of customers who started off by purchasing the mini, and as far as I know, they don't have any regrets about that. It allowed them to have a die cutting machine, and then they just have to be, you know, a little bit choosy in the sets they pick. So what we have now is our one image becomes 4. And you can combine them in any way, shape, and form that you like. So it's pretty fantastic. I have made several designs. So I've made designs that only use this middle one, which is what we're going to use today. I've made designs that combine this guy with the flowers. I have made designs that only use these guys. So many options. But for the moment, we are going to go with this autumn one. So we're gonna do some coloring with our blends, and I'm just gonna use some colors I know I have done these in before. So we're gonna do our acorns and dark and light crumb cake, and we're gonna do the top in ivory. So I'm not sure if you have this set or not, if you've struggled, if you've played around with different color combos for the acorns. I played around with a lot, and the reason I did that is because I demonstrated this bundle for a team meeting. We have monthly team meetings, and our team leader always gets different people to do like a mini tutorial on a bundle of products, and then we put together a PDF for the group. So it was a good opportunity for me to play with this one. And then I really liked ivory as the top. What I also really like is the acorns actually stamped on crumb cake. So if you were going to do extra acorns, they look really great stamped on crumb cake. So I'm going to add a bit more of the dark in there. And then my other trick is I blend with quickly go over it with my color lifter. So even though I don't actually want to lift the color, I just find it's a really great way to blend our edges. Okay, now let's do the leaves. So we are going to do something similar to what I did before. So we're going to use light granny apple green, dark granny apple green and light mossy meadow. And we're going to use that on the big leaf. And sorry, I'm just kind of looking into what I did. So I'm gonna just go over I like to take a fairly quick, loose approach to tracing over the line so it looks just a little less perfect, a little more organic. Just gonna pop out that little image, that little bit there. Okay. And then I'm going to take some of this dark granny apple green and color this throughout. There are some people that are like so amazing with their coloring, but I have definitely seen the suggestion that you should leave some white. I think we still have a bit too much white. we're gonna kind of do this, and then we're gonna take the light again. Just gonna add a bit more in here. Some of them are, that one's just bigger. Okay, then I'm going to, just kind of go over this whole thing. With the light. And then this will be a great reason to pull in that blender, because you're probably like, what is she making? Kind of looks like swamp water, right? But I don't know. I've never seen a leaf that looks like perfect. So now I'm just gonna make sure my color lifter is clean. And so I don't know if you can see, it just kind of, it really just blends everything together. I mean, yes, it lifts a tiny bit of color, but I'm okay with that. But I like how it just kind of blends it together, like you're using water paint. Okay, and we're gonna do these little leaves over here, which I'm going to do in dark and light granny apple green. So you might be like, my evening evergreen ran a little bit there. I'm okay with that. It didn't the last time I did this. It might just be because I colored right away with the blends versus, stamping it, because that's why you want to use Memento, right? It won't run at all. Okay. So my thought process here now, bring this back. So we have like this beautiful autumn colorings. I don't know, we might have to lose this. That might be, we might need the darker one now. What are you guys thinking? And then I was thinking some gold ribbon. So what we would do, okay, we got to just start putting some stuff together. We're going to see how this all comes out. And that, I'm okay with that. All right. I do find sometimes on metallic that the adhesive doesn't always stick. So I am going to actually use some tear tape in the middle of each strip. You can see I'm not going all the way to the top or bottom. It's because I know these pieces are longer than this guy, right? Okay, so I'm gonna line them up before I take anything off so that we can get them roughly spaced, because once we start taking them off, there's no going back. So I'm actually gonna kind of use my grid paper a little bit. Okay, so make sure those two are good. And then we're gonna do the one in the middle, and then we'll go from there. So what did you guys think of that die? Did you, oh shoot. Did you know, oh my God, that it did that? Does it make you want that bundle anymore? Or, now that you know how cool it is? Or are you like, whatever. That's neat, but that's not going to change my mind. I would be curious to know. So I was thinking, if you didn't know it did that, then you would have no reason to, you know, be like, wow, that's really different. I should have it. But I could tell in the catalog there was something different about it. So I might actually end up trimming, because I haven't got these lined up quite how I wanted them. I'm going to trim that one side. So my spacing is a bit better. So I don't like how there's more on that side. There we go. Okay, so now what we need to do is get our ribbon. We're going to bring it around. It's going to come through here. Now, when I did this other card, I took it through and then took it underneath. Like this, and then popped it back out the other side. But I'm actually wondering if this is going to go in the middle here. We have to kind of figure out how it can go. I think it has to go this way. So then the ribbon actually goes across there. And then we'll have our greeting. So I'm going to go ahead and tie this. So now this one is going to come, and it's going to come up through here. Okay. Ooh, maybe we'll actually put the bow over there. Oh yeah, that sounds better. Okay. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to tie a bow, and then we will adhere the image down underneath. This way I know it will be where I want it. Okay. So I'm going to slide that out. I'm going to put some adhesive on it. I'm going to slide it back in very carefully now because I've got glue all over it. All right. This is going to go on here. We're going to do some more die cuts, if you're wondering. Fill it out a little bit, but for right now. So you can see we can just die cut the acorn, and we also can die cut these small little leaves. So I'm going to get those ready because that's what I'm going to end up doing. Trying to line my dies up a little bit. I draw them so that now we could do this big stamp, which is sending many thanks or happy thoughts of you. Or we could just stamp like thank you or I'm so fond of you. And cut it out. Okay. Put those aside for now. So here you can see there's that big die all cut out. I am going to stamp on, well, I think I'm going to do white in Cherry Cobbler. All right. And just kind of do a rough little fussy cut here. I'm going to keep it pretty loose because I can always go back and tighten it up, come closer to some of the letters if I want to, but if you go really close to start, then there's no turning back from that, right? So I'm going to kind of cut across the top so I'm not dealing with that big piece of paper. And then we are going to come in here. It's already dark out. My son is at lacrosse practice right now. I mean, they have lights on the field, but it's kind of crazy how dark it is when it's 7:45. I don't know where you guys are. I'm assuming everyone's on the West Coast. Otherwise, somebody's watching me at like 11:45 at night. Or no, 10:45? No, 3 hours. Yeah, 11:45. Which, you know, that would be way past my bedtime. You would never see me on here that late. Okay, yes, I like that. So we are gonna put dimensionals, and I had them, here they are. I'm going to use minis at the bottom. And then I'm going to cut this mini in half. I'm going to put one guy here. And I'm going to put one right there. And then see how that's going to work. Okay. I've decided, I mean, I like crafting live because I like to, you know, I like people to sort of see what you can do, and obviously it's fun to interact, so to speak, but I mean, it's also very weird. I'm basically talking to myself at in my craft space. Okay, so we could look at how that's not lined up at all. Okay, that's gonna drive me crazy. I'm gonna trim that because it's obviously off. I don't think it's so obvious at the bottom. So you could pop this up. You just want to be careful how thick your cards, you're making your cards, especially if you're going to pop them in the mail, right? So I was going to do a few more little leaves and an acorn. So we're gonna do that acorn, like I said, on crumb cake. So I'm gonna stamp it in early espresso. Get that out. I'm only going to use 2 likely, but I'm just stamping through. And then I'm going to, no, I can't. I'm going to stamp on crushed curry. And you might be like, what? But it's really kind of cool. So I'm going to move that guy, bring this guy in. I'm going to bring our cherry cobbler. And stamp that. And then we're just going to color, like I said, so we're gonna do our ivory. So look at how different it looks on the crumb cake. I love it. So if you were to get this set, this is what I would suggest. You know, do the acorns on crumb cake whenever you can. It looks way cool. At least I think it does. Okay, and then we are going to take those leaves that I did and get our cherry cobbler. And then here we are definitely going to use the color lifter. And I'm even going to go outside the lines. I don't really care about that. But it just makes for a really neat kind of red and yellow leaf. Basically, I was planning, right? I mean, like I said, I made a ton of cards and I was just playing around with all sorts of different coloring options and ideas, and I did some playing, and this is what I came up with. I thought it looked really neat. I thought it was kind of different. All right, so we are going to put both of these in here, and then we're going to hold them, and we are going to just zip along here because I appreciate that you are taking the time to watch, and you might have other things you need to do, just like I do. Okay. I was trying to be efficient. See where that got me. Nowhere fast. would love to know, you guys are very quiet tonight. Does anyone else have this bundle? If you do, I would love to see what you've created with it. All right, I am going to cut out all three because that's something we have to do in threes. We have to either do 3 acorns or we have to do 3 leaves. We can't have both be 2s. Aw, thank you, Janet. Yeah. I mean, we probably could have found a die that would have also looked lovely with the greeting, the sentiment, but that takes time and effort, and often I'm just too, I shouldn't say I'm too lazy, but especially in situations like this where I know I'm trying to be cognizant of people's time and for me to open up all the dies and go through them and find one that I think is the right size or shape or fits. Sometimes it's just easier to cut around. I'm pretty comfortable fussy cutting. I have taken some classes myself. I like to take card classes too. And somebody I like to take classes from, she loves to fussy cut. And so I have had to get quite comfortable with it and to get pretty quick because, you know, you got to keep up. It's a 2-hour class or whatever it is. So I feel pretty comfortable doing it now. All right. One more. We're just going to have these all cut out. If we don't use them, I can use them somewhere else. All right, there we go. Do not use those little dies. That would be bad. Put that away. Bring this back in here. All right, I'm not going to use dimensionals. I feel like this is my glue that's almost run out. So just quickly throw that on there. But isn't this so pretty? Every time I use that die, what did I say it was called? I can't remember. But every time I use it, I'm reminded how gorgeous it is. Stitched greenery, and how easy it is to just make your card be so stunning without too much going on. Okay, let's bring this. So we're gonna create a little thing, and then we will add it to the card. So I'm trying to think because I kind of want this to go here. I know that covers up our bow, so you're probably kind of like, well, okay, so let's put it to the side maybe. I just kind of felt like we needed to bring something else in, a couple of more acorns, or maybe we just need to tuck those underneath. I felt like we needed a splash of color. Yeah, maybe that's better. Underneath. And then maybe one here. All right, what do you guys think of that? So we've added just a splash of color. Okay, so I'm gonna stick these guys together. Okay, I got somebody saying that was good. What did I do there? Oh my goodness. Okay, like that. And then we're gonna need to use a glue dot because that's gonna kind of go over the middle. So get out our glue dot. You could also use a little bit of tear and tape. So often I will use whatever is handy. So I have done this with some tear and tape lately because it's just what I had handy. So I'm going to do that. And then what I'm also going to do is take a second glue dot and stick it underneath. There we go. So that's not moving around. And then we have no adhesive on these guys. So throw some adhesive on here. Slide it back underneath. Just so we've got like a snick more of that autumn color. There we go. We're done. So I will save that guy. Oh, we should probably use some embellishments. Hang tight. Hang tight. Let's get out. So I feel like we need something gold-ish. What do we have? Oh, thank you. I'm seeing lots of love. Much appreciated. Oh, there we go. That's what we're using for sure, for sure, for sure. Okay, so we are using the brushed metallic. We have gold, copper, and bronze. So we will use I might actually use these ones because I don't think I have. Oh, I've used the small ones. I love these. These guys are beauties. This is actually my least favorite part of a card. I mean, I love it because I like putting gems on, but I'm always like, oh, what do I put it? Where do I put it? Where does it go? I feel like we need one sort of right there. And then that guy, and then maybe another one up here. Or we could do one over here. This is where I'm the least. Okay. I think I'm gonna go like that. Okay, ta-da! For sure, finished now. We've got the gems on there. Thank you everyone for sticking with me. I hope you love it. I would love to see you try it, whether it's with these products or something else. This is a super fun sketch that I am actually pretty pleased to say I think I came up with it all on my own. So have a great night. Thank you. Don't forget, the one-day stamp sale is still going on. If you're a customer of mine, I'm going to place my order now. So go ahead and get those orders into me. And otherwise, have a great rest of your evening. Thanks, guys.